You guys, I'm in a funk. In terms of manifestation and really anything in life, it seems like energy ebbs and flows. At least in my experience, there's times when I feel very motivated, and then there's times when I feel like I have no motivation and like I can't do anything and I'm stuck in a negative spiral. And this is one of those times for me. I want to show you guys how I manifest my way out of a negative spiral. Because honestly, if I'm being truly transparent, getting stuck in negative spirals happens to me a lot. I feel like I'm the kind of person where I'm always needing to work on my mindset, where I'm always needing to reconfront old limiting beliefs in the past. It is difficult for me to stay positive all the time, if I'm being totally honest. And it is difficult for me to always be in the state of the wish fulfilled, always be in alignment with my manifestation, always be in alignment with my dream self, with the person I want to become. There are a lot of moments in my life where I feel stuck and where I feel like I'm not making any progress, where I feel like I've actually gone backwards, where I feel like I'm just really stuck in kind of a negative thought pattern, or I don't have any motivation to do anything, or I feel like I'm hitting a wall, a roadblock with creativity. This happens to me quite often, honestly, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because if you're anything like me, you may have experienced a similar type of struggle on your path to manifestation. You may feel like you have gotten stuck in a negative spiral, or you may feel like you're very stuck in your life, or like you've gone backwards. Maybe you've tried starting a new manifestation routine and things are going great for a week or two, and then suddenly out of nowhere, your limiting beliefs start creeping in. And even though you try to stay on track with your manifestation routine, sometimes it seems like these limiting beliefs, these thought patterns just get bigger and bigger and bigger until they pull you back down into that negative spiral, and you feel like you have gone backwards. You feel like you are even further from your manifestation than when you started. When I get into this state of mind, the first thing that I do is I go easy on myself. I try to stop judging myself, and I try to stop berating myself for being so negative, for being less productive than I think I should be, and for having a mindset that's less positive than I believe it should be. I really think the number one key that you should do first when you are manifesting yourself out of a negative spiral is to accept yourself and accept where you are. It's totally normal to go through these ebbs and flows of life, to go through these time periods where you feel like you're getting stuck in your old limiting beliefs and you've gone backwards in terms of your manifestation. This is actually totally normal, and it's part of the manifestation process. So I know this is difficult to do, but I want you to try, if you can, to look at where you're at right now and not judge it as good or bad. Try to be gentle with yourself, and if you can, just offer some love and acceptance for yourself and where you are. Because when you are in this low vibrational state of feeling like you're in a slump, feeling like you're in a negative spiral, when you accept yourself and you offer love to yourself for where you are, and you don't judge the situation as good or bad, you're actually already moving up the vibrational ladder, because you're moving into those feelings of acceptance and love. So just by accepting where you are, accepting that you're in a negative spiral, you are already raising your vibration. Manifestation is such a trending topic in the world right now. It feels like there is so much information out there right now on how you can manifest anything that you want, and how if you just change your thought patterns, you can create the life that you want and get everything that you desire super quickly. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I think that some of the expectations in the manifestation community are actually a little bit unhealthy at this point. It seems like there's just this unrealistic expectation that we're going to have conscious control of all of our thoughts 100% of the time, and they're always going to be positive, and they're always going to be in alignment with our manifestation, and we're always going to be in the feeling state of the wish fulfilled. And if you're not in the feeling state of the wish fulfilled, and if your thoughts aren't positive, well, then it's your fault. You didn't get your manifestation, right? And it's honestly really an unrealistic expectation that I think drives people into this place where when they have an off day, when they get into a negative spiral, now suddenly they have that added layer of shame or self-hatred because they're watching people on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever, and it's like, well, this person is able to think positive all the time and I'm not. Oh, I'm so behind on this. I need to get my mindset together. All of this kind of like self-hating, shaming type of behaviors that just add another layer of misery on top of the already negative spiral that you're in. I mean, this expectation actually where you have conscious control of your thoughts 100% and you are manifesting everything perfectly and instantly and you're not facing any challenges is basically telling people that they need to achieve some sort of state of enlightenment to get what they want. But then on the flip side here, if you look at a being, let's say Buddha for example, who actually was enlightened, these are not beings that are avoiding avoiding negative situations, right? They are actually welcoming negative situations. So that's like the whole catch-22 here. You may have heard the story before of Buddha and this demon Mara that would come to him when he was meditating and try to tempt him in various ways with negativity. So you could look at Mara almost as like negative thought patterns that are coming to Buddha as he's on his journey to enlightenment. And so what would happen is that the Buddha would calmly address Mara and say, I see you, Mara, and actually invite Mara in for tea, invite Mara in as an honored guest. And so what Buddha is doing here is actually allowing the negative thoughts in. He's integrating the negative thoughts, integrating the negative patterns. And so there's like a catch-22 here where it's like you have this expectation to be consciously aware of your thoughts 100% of the time so that you can manifest everything and not experience any unexpected challenges, which would be kind of like achieving that enlightenment. But at the same time, the road to enlightenment actually involves inviting in the negative thoughts, inviting in the negative patterns, right? So you're almost expected to achieve something that if you achieved it would be achieved in a different way. So this whole kind of almost shame or judgment of negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, getting stuck in these negative spirals is actually in a way blocking you from becoming as conscious as you could be. And the truth to reach the pinnacle of manifestation actually is becoming more conscious, because the more conscious that you are, the more control you have over your thoughts and the more aware you are of your subconscious. And so you're actually able to control your reality more because you're more conscious of your thoughts and your subconscious mind, right? So becoming conscious is the way to become a better manifester, but yet you're almost being sold this story that you need to be only positive and that you need to resist the negative in order to become a better manifester. But the truth of the matter is that understanding the negative and the positive is what will actually make you a better manifester, because it will make you more conscious and therefore you will have more control over what you are creating. And so I've been there before, and I don't want you to experience this where you feel like you're trying to manifest and you're having difficulty staying positive, you're having difficulty living in the wish fulfilled, and then suddenly all of these doubts come in, you get this feeling of shame, you get this feeling of judgment of yourself. I don't want anybody to feel any type of pain if they're not living up to these standards that honestly are unrealistic. So go easy on yourself if you're experiencing some kind of negative spiral or if you feel like you're in a funk, because the way that this works is that you actually don't know. You actually don't have proof that this negative spiral or these negative thought patterns are keeping you away from your manifestation. They could actually be the catalyst to get you to your manifestation. Once you desire something, all forces in the universe want you to get that desire. They are moving you towards that desire. And I talked a little bit more about why that is in my video on how to become magnetic, which I will link in the description box below. But a quick recap, when you desire something, the universe also desires that thing, because your growth and your expansion is the universe's growth and the universe's expansion, right? So you lining up with that desire serves the universe. So the universe actually is always working in your favor to line up with your desires, because your growth and expansion is the universe's growth and expansion. When you are going through these negative spirals, when you are going through these negative slumps and you feel like you're not manifesting correctly, you feel like you're moving further from your manifestation, this is not actually the truth. A lot of times these perceived negative experiences in our life are actually the catalyst to bring us to our manifestation. And a lot of times after you go through a dark time like this and you look back a year later or 5 years later, a lot of times you realize that dark period actually gave you the fuel, the motivation to achieve your manifestation, because that contrast that you experienced, those negative situations, actually caused you to understand more about what you desire and actually pushed you to take the actions to line up with your desire. So everything's working in your favor always, even if it doesn't appear to be at face value. And so it's okay to release judgment of ourselves here and release judgments of whether or not this situation is good or bad, because the truth of the matter is everything is leading you towards your manifestation. Everything is leading you towards what you want, even if it doesn't appear to be doing that at face value. So once you have accepted this situation, we want to let ourselves feel some of this negative junk that's coming up, right? We want to let ourselves feel these negative emotions. So what you can do here is you can journal and just let yourself write out all the things that are bothering you. You can call a friend and vent to a friend and get some of this negative energy off your chest, or you can also meditate and do a deep meditation where you really allow yourself to feel the negative feelings. And I actually think that's the most powerful route. And then after you've done that and you fully have felt everything, what we want to do now is we want to take small steps that are going to lead us to the feeling of relief. Since we're coming from such a depressed, negative state, we don't want to aim to jump a million miles over to states of joy, bliss, and happiness, because that's just going to be difficult for us to attain and probably push us more into an even more of a depressed state, right? So what we're going to do is try to focus on just finding that feeling of relief, just moving up the vibrational ladder slowly into the feeling of relief. So what would make you feel relief right now? Maybe going out into nature, maybe maybe taking a walk in the sunshine if it's a nice day, maybe getting a little bit of exercise, maybe making yourself a cup of coffee, maybe watching your favorite comedy show that makes you laugh. Just try to do one thing that's gonna move you into the feeling state of relief or feeling a little bit better. Because at this point, we want to acknowledge that we actually have the power to change our mood. We're not at the mercy of our emotions and our thoughts. So we are conscious, powerful creators, and we have the agency to improve our mood if we want to. We can take responsibility for our life and for our mood, and we actually have the power to improve our day if we choose to do that. So once you feel that you have reached a state of relief, you're ready for the next step, which is gratitude. And hey, I don't want to rush you through this. If it takes you a day or 2 days or a week to get to that feeling of relief, that's totally fine. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all working out in your favor. So whatever timing is needed for you to move through this negative spiral, this negative funk is perfect, and it's all happening for your benefit. But once you feel like you have achieved that feeling of relief, you're ready to focus on gratitude. This is going to help us move up the vibrational ladder even further. So if you're anything like me and you're in a negative spiral and somebody tells you to think about gratitude, you're probably like, oh, gratitude? Ugh, gratitude. I'm not gonna write a little cliche gratitude journal right now. Believe me, I've been there, and to this day, I still am there sometimes. But honestly, gratitude is so powerful. So if you can just push through the resistance that you're feeling and write even 5 things about your day that you're grateful for, even if they're small things like a cup of coffee or the sunshine outside, it is going to help improve your mood and make you feel more optimistic about your life. I promise you. These feelings of gratitude are a great springboard to get back on track to manifesting our desires, because when you're in that state of gratitude, you're in the state of the wish fulfilled, right? Because you are on the vibration of having what you want, right? You're grateful for these things, you have what you want. Such a great vibrational springboard to get back into our manifestation practice. So after you feel this little bit of gratitude for your life, what you can do now is take some time to really just think about the kind of person that you want to be, your dream self. I recommend that you get out a journal and you focus on shifting your identity. So what identity do you want to become? What person do you want to be? Journal on this. So for example, you could write something like, I want to be surrounded by high vibe friends, or I want to be making 6 figures in my business, or I want to be in the love of my life. You can write down what identity you want to embody. And then what you want to do is take an action step to align yourself with this vibration, with this identity. So this would be something like adding a new habit to your day that you're not already doing, that the person that you desire to be would be doing. So if you are wanting to be the kind of person that is surrounded by high vibe friends, what would this person be doing in their day-to-day life? Would they wake up and have a morning routine where they meditate, or would they be going out and hiking during the day? Whatever you feel like this person would be doing, I want you to pick one of those things and add it to your life. And it can be a totally small thing too. So maybe you just start a very short morning routine where you're just meditating for 5 minutes and that's it. Honestly, you guys, when I have been in my worst negative spirals and I decide, you know what, I don't have the motivation or the energy to do an entire manifestation routine, but I'm just gonna start meditating in the morning for 10 minutes in silence, and that's all that I do. It is honestly so crazy how that one change, adding that one habit, actually starts me on an upward spiral that ends up causing a cascade of changes into my life, because I actively shifted my vibration and my timeline by adding this one habit, because I'm shifting my whole trajectory, because here now I'm spending 10 minutes doing this meditation instead of doing something else. So I'm shifting my timeline, because your timelines are always shifting moment to moment based on your actions, your thoughts, your vibrations, all of that. You're always moving through timelines. So when you take a small step like this to change the trajectory of your day, you are changing your timeline. And in my experience, it usually leads to a cascade of more and more positive outcomes, positive synchronicities, positive opportunities, and it actually makes it a lot easier for me to make larger changes in my life that align me even further with the person that I want to become. And if you like this video and you feel like this was helpful in getting you out of a negative spiral, I definitely recommend that you check out this video next. Watch this if you are experiencing challenges when manifesting. In this video, I will explain why sometimes after you set the intention to manifest something, it seems like the universe immediately gives you the opposite, or it immediately gives you a challenge. This video will let you know why that happens and why these perceived challenges are actually a sign that your manifestation is on its way to you.